Well, hello, everybody. Good to see you. It's Wednesday night, and it is time for our live cruise Q&A. Welcome to everybody out there. Good to see you all. Happy Wednesday night. It's 7 o'clock here on the East Coast. We're in the Orlando area. It is 115 days till Christmas. Oh my gosh, Christmas is coming so quickly. But if you're new to this channel, I am Walter. This is Where's Walter TV. We are all about cruising, travel, and theme parks and keeping a positive attitude more than anything else. The bulk of my content is geared towards first-time cruisers or the cruise curious. So if you've got some friends out there, some family who are maybe taking their first cruise or are curious about cruising and maybe they've heard all that misinformation about what they think cruising is, certainly have them come on over and tune in for the next hour. As always, I am joined by my wife, Rebecca, who sits just off camera. She doesn't like to come on camera, but she is essentially my producer here. But if you have any questions at all, any concerns, anything you want to know about cruising, or, we do live in Orlando. We are annual pass holders to Disney, and we've been to Universal quite a bit as well. So if you've got any questions about the theme parks down here, we're happy to answer those too. But I hope y'all are doing well. Cheers to everybody. This is some mint tea with my little Stitch mug. Really, really good. So it's good to see folks out there. Who we got here? Hey, we got Christy Hamill. I see we've got Tammy in there, and we've got Cindy. Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining us out there on this lovely day. So one of the big stories today is coming up on Saturday. The Artemis launch that was supposed to have happened on Monday morning is now going to happen Saturday afternoon. So we're going to have 4 ships in Port Canaveral, not 5 like it was on Monday, but there's still the potential for a lot of traffic and a lot of mess out there in Port Canaveral. Now, some of the sites are saying 100,000 to 200,000 people could show up for the launch. Other sites are saying up to 500,000. Now, this is going to be a Saturday. It's not Monday like the original launch was. So I would not be surprised if there is going to be a buttload of people out at Cape Canaveral this weekend. And if you're heading out there, might I suggest Cocoa Beach? It's kind of south of everything. You're still going to get a great look at the rocket from down there, but maybe going down to Cocoa Beach, you'll be south of all the traffic. Once the rocket goes up, hopefully it does go up on Saturday, you can just hang and relax on the beach for a while and let all the traffic die down before you drive out of there. But if you're driving down to Port Canaveral, in fact, if anybody watching this, I'm going to be driving down to Port Canaveral on Saturday. I'd love to hear your comments. But the rocket, the 2-hour window opens at 2:17 p.m. and will run until 4:17 p.m., which means probably none of the ships will leave the port until that 4:17 window ends, because I don't think they're going to be able to be moving out. But if you are boarding a ship on Saturday, oh my God, you are going to have a front row seat to the launch. Oh my goodness gracious. Make sure you're on board the ship by 2 o'clock so you can get up there to the upper decks. And you're going to be on the tallest structures at Port Canaveral. You are literally going to have a front row view to that rocket. But if you are heading there, if you're heading to Port Canaveral, or if you're watching this from one of those ships and you're going to be exiting, let's see, who do we have? We have the Carnival Freedom, the Carnival Mardi Gras, the Royal Caribbean Mariner of the Seas, and the Disney Fantasy. Those are the 4 ships that will be in that day. So those are 4 ships that will have come in and will be going back out. So if you're exiting one of those ships, you actually shouldn't have too bad of traffic getting out of Port Canaveral, because everybody's going to be coming in. It's the people who are coming into Port Canaveral. You might have some issues trying to get in, but those are the 4 ships that are going to be there. Christy is asking, will the launch be live? Oh, yeah, it'll be live in a lot of places. But where I'm watching it, actually the NASA YouTube channel, they will be broadcasting the launch live, just like they were on the previous launch attempt. So, yeah, if you want to watch the launch live, and I highly recommend it, depending on the weather, we might be able to see it. The Cape is about 50 miles behind our backyard. And when which one was it? The Inspire 4 from SpaceX went up. That was a nighttime launch, and I was able to watch the entire flight from my backyard. I saw the entire second stage burn. It was the most outrageous thing ever. I mean, I'd heard that, oh, I think you can see the Cape from your house. I'm like, yeah, right, sure. No, I can see the Cape from my house. And for nighttime launches, we can see the whole thing. I don't know about the daytime launch. The one nice thing about the afternoon launch, though, the sun rises from over there. So at least the sun will be on the opposite side. Had it taken off on Saturday morning, it would have gone up straight into the sun. We never would have seen it. So we have a shot at seeing it. There is a 60% chance, however, that the weather will scrub the launch. So we'll have to wait and see. But that's what's going on Saturday. It's going to be a big day over at Cape Canaveral. So if you're heading down to Cape Canaveral, definitely have some patience. Let me see. It says, article says there'll be about 31,000 cruise travelers, exiting and entering the ships on Saturday. So on top of the 100 to 500,000 guests who will be coming in to watch the launch. But if you're leaving the ships that morning, you really shouldn't have too much of an issue because all the traffic will be inbound to Port Canaveral. But if you're headed to Port Canaveral, you could have some issues getting in there. So certainly exercise patience if you're heading out that way. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, if you are not in our Facebook group, please come on over and join the Facebook group. We've got a wonderful little group of people over there. We're just under 200 folks over there. So it's a small group. I'm not planning on it getting too big because, we're keeping it a positive community over there. Everybody's sharing information with everybody, and it's a lovely little group over there. So if you haven't joined our Facebook group, come on over and join. And if you're thinking about taking your first cruise, maybe you haven't taken your first cruise yet, or some folks that haven't taken one yet. Maybe they've been talking to you about it. Tell them, come on over. We'll be here for the next hour. Any question, this is a safe space. You can ask anything at all. We have literally been asked everything, even including how do you flush the toilet on a cruise ship? Because it is different, right? But any questions you have, anything you want to know about cruising, we will do our darndest to answer them. Okay? So welcome, everybody. I hope you all are having an absolutely fabulous evening tonight. Let's see what else is in our story. So this is interesting. One of our friends, Tristan, is on this ship, the Mariner of the Seas. She had to make a medical emergency diversion. It's very interesting looking at it on the cruise map, where you can see how the ship started on its journey down to Labadee, Haiti. She left on Monday afternoon. And apparently in the overnight hours, there was a medical emergency. Now, we don't know at this time whether it was a crew member or a guest, but we do know that there was a medical emergency after she was well underway. And in coordination with the U.S. Coast Guard, the decision was made to divert the ship down to Port Everglades. So she had already gone southeast, and now suddenly she had to cut and come right back to Florida and go almost due south down to Port Everglades, where apparently a Coast Guard boat met them just outside of the port. It's a lot easier for the ship to pull up to a buoy outside of the port and make that transfer than bringing the ship all the way in with a pilot and having to dock up and all that. It's a much faster process if the person is able to do it, to just simply transfer them over to a Coast Guard boat. So that's what they did. But in that time that it took for all of this to happen, the transfer happened around 5:30 in the morning, apparently on Tuesday morning. When all of this transpired, apparently that meant that the Mariner of the Seas could no longer make it to Labadee, their first scheduled stop on Wednesday. I mean, they could make it, but it was going to be much, much later, so the guests would not have gotten a full experience out of it. So what Royal Caribbean decided to do is they are sending the ship to Coco Cay twice. So instead of visiting Labadee, Haiti today, the Mariner of the Seas went to Coco Cay. She'll have her regularly scheduled sea day tomorrow, and then back to Coco Cay on Friday for her regularly scheduled visit. And, this reminds us all that you've got to go with the flow on cruising. You just never know what's going to happen. You never know how the schedules are going to change. And you have to remember that we all sign a contract with the cruise line. And in effect, it basically says they can change the schedule at any time for any reason, and you just have to go with it. And this is an excellent reminder. I mean, no fault of anybody on the ship itself. Obviously, a medical emergency. You have to take care of the person first. And the Coast Guard determined that the easiest way, the safest way to transfer this person was just simply to have the ship come down. It wasn't that far from Florida anyway, so the ship just came on down. And, to me, I don't have a problem going to Coco Cay twice. I'd probably do the water park on the first day and then hang out at the Coco Beach Club on the second day. So you kind of got to go with the flow. They may have had a couple of extra sea days, but it was interesting when we woke up on Tuesday morning and the ship was just sitting there like off the coast of Delray Beach. And I'm like, why is the ship there? It should be all the way down below. And so we were going back and forth with Tristan, and I guess it was around 9:30 in the morning on Tuesday morning, they made the announcement that the whole itinerary is going to be changed. That's what happens. That's part of cruising. That is one of the most unique aspects of cruise travel over anything else, is that your schedule could change at any time, and you kind of got to go with it, kind of got to roll with it. Those of us who have cruised in the past, I mean, I don't know how many ports Rebecca and I have missed to this point. We've missed, maybe 5 or 6 to this point. It happens. It happened. And in fact, we're supposed to be going to Coco Cay in December. And the first cruise that we were supposed to do it on, they shortened it up. They canceled Coco Cay. So we switched to another one. I mean, there's always a chance we won't get in. And there are times that ships can't get in because even though they have a pier, sometimes it can be too rough. Christy, I see you have a question there. How long is his cruise? I believe it's a 5-night cruise. Let's see. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. Yeah, because it's coming in on Saturday. So it's a 5-night cruise. And the 2 stop, it was supposed to be Monday. It's supposed to be Tuesday Sea Day, Wednesday Labadee, Thursday Sea Day, Friday Coco Cay, and then back to Port Canaveral. I mean, Coco Cay is just a couple hours away from Port Canaveral. And so they're still going to get the 2 stops. It's just the 2 stops are going to be at Coco Cay. And like I said, that's not a bad thing, especially if you've never been to Coco Cay. There's private islands like the Disney private island, Coco Cay. There's a lot to see on those islands. Even the, Stirrup Cay for Norwegian. There's a lot to see on those islands. So having 2 days at Coco Cay, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I don't have a problem with that. And I don't have a problem with, the schedule changing. And that's the way it's going to be. So a reminder, folks, if you've got some questions, you got some family out there, you want to drop anything on here, please go ahead and ask some questions about what you would like to know. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking to Rebecca the whole night. And, I already talked to Rebecca 24/7. So it's nice to have other people to talk to. I mean, this is why I do this. I can talk to you and have other. Rebecca's like, you need other people to talk to. So, yeah, so that's why I do these videos. So much fun. And, a very exciting thing just happened. And, those of you who know me know that I am so freaking excited about this. Starlink is coming to Royal Caribbean Group, not Royal Caribbean, Royal Caribbean Group. So Celebrity Cruise Lines, Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, Silversea Cruise Lines are all getting the Starlink service, which promises speeds up to 350 megabytes per second. I mean, that's fast. That means you can pretty much do anything you want at work on the ship. Because, I mean, I like to do remote video workflows, and this means I could literally edit video on the ship from a remote server if I'm getting some of those high speeds, and that would be like truly, truly exciting. Oh my God! So, Starlink is coming. They expect to have every single ship in Royal Caribbean Group installed by the end of the first quarter of next year. And Celebrity tweeted that they're going to have the service starting on September 5th. I'm like, wow. So at least one of their ships already has some of those receivers installed. So the process is going to be, they have to take the Starlink receivers, they need to install them on the ships, and then, the service will start and all of that good stuff. So all of the ships need to get these Starlink receivers. Freedom of the Seas was the first ship to try it out. And now Royal Caribbean just made the announcement that they're going to install it on every ship. And I am so excited because I am ready to start working remotely on cruise ships, I mean, check this out. So I know the Celebrity Equinox. So my morning, I get up like 6 in the morning. So I'm probably going to get up. I'm going to do my 45-minute walk around the top of the ship, go take a shower. I'm going to go to Cafe Al Baccio, get my coffee, maybe the buffet, maybe the main dining room, or maybe I just grab something from Cafe Al Baccio. I have my breakfast. Now I go find a quiet place to work. And there's a lot of quiet places on the ship during the day. I mean, the ships are usually very, very quiet during the day. So I'm going to work. I'm going to do my morning shift. Then maybe I go get my swim trunks on. I take a dip in the pool in the solarium. I grab a light lunch in the spa cafe, which is right there in the solarium. I go towel off. I work my afternoon shift in another quiet spot. About 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I knock off, get dressed for the evening, go get a old fashioned at the world-class bar, of course. Then I've got at least 6 places to choose from to have dinner. To maybe take in a show, get another drink, maybe one more coffee from Cafe Al Baccio, and then repeat the next day. I mean, that is the ultimate workspace. I mean, that is a remote workspace. I got my coffee shop. I got my restaurant. I got my pool. I got shows. I got everything right there. And every single day I'm in a different place. I'm not like in a hotel working. So that is what I am truly excited about. Tammy, what do you got there? Does the cheap internet package let you post on Facebook? So I don't know which cruise. I assume you're talking about Royal Caribbean, because I have been talking about Royal Caribbean. Oh, Tammy, so you're going on your first cruise next week. I see your next comment. Tammy, what ship are you going on? Just drop that in the comments. Usually, yeah. Usually, no two cruise ships are created equal. I can tell you that. Let's see. You're going on Carnival. Okay. And which ship, Tammy? Let me know what ship you're going on. So even within the same cruise line, ships are not all equal in terms of how well the internet works. And the internet, so you're going on the Carnival Breeze. Okay, I don't know that ship. I know it is an older ship. So basically, the way the internet works right now, it's gonna work exactly the same way with the Starlink. It's all satellite based, and the system depends on, cloud cover can mess with it, and the angle of where the ship is in relationship to the satellites themselves. So for instance, we went on the Carnival Mardi Gras, and I actually had really good service for 4 out of the 7 days. 3 of the days, the service was really spotty. It was when we were down near the Dominican Republic. So either we were in a bad spot for the satellites or the system was having issues. But yes, the basic package, the cheapest package, should at least allow you to check email, should allow you to post on Facebook, should allow you to post on Instagram. Videos might crap out, but you should at least be able to post pictures. Now, I have had times where I simply cannot post on Instagram for whatever reason. Just won't go. I can post on Facebook, I can post on Twitter, but my pictures just won't go into Instagram for whatever reason. So, there are little weirdnesses like that. But you're going on, what'd you say? You're going on your first, oh my God, like literally your first cruise next week? Yes. I'm so excited, Tammy. I don't know if we had anything to do with it, but I'm so excited you're going on your first cruise. Yay. Cheers to you. Cheers. Oh my goodness. I think Gary Bembridge would appreciate this. I'm actually drinking tea. So Gary, if you're watching the replay, it's midnight over in Europe, but in the first comment, Gary said he might be watching this in the morning. So Gary, if you're watching it, I'm actually drinking some tea. So cheers to you, my friend. All right. I see retired in Florida just showed up. And aloha, Mark. I see you just popped up too. Retired in Florida says hello and thank you for the Virgin. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad. I hope those were helpful at all. I'll tell you what, the ship was totally different than we expected. So yeah, I really wanted to get some stuff up there. Best time to reserve dinner on Scarlet Lady in order to watch the shows and experience the nightly entertainment. Fantastic question, because it is a lot different than other cruise ships. Now, first of all, on the first night, what I would have done differently, what time was our dinner? Was like at 6:30 on the first night. And again, for those of you who have never tuned in before, my wife is sitting right here off camera. She has a microphone. If you would like to hear her speak, put it in the comments that you would like to hear Rebecca speak, because she has a microphone right in front of her. So she is able to talk. Okay. So one thing that I would recommend is get a later dinner on the first night. So we typically eat between, say, 6:30 and 7:30. I actually would book an 8 o'clock or maybe 8:30 dinner on the first night, because you don't get on the ship until about 2:30 because of the late boarding time. And so, of course, when you get on the ship, you start eating. And my recommendation would be to go to the dock and start off with the tapas. But, you start noshing on things. And when 6:30 came around, it was like, I'm really not that hungry because we got on the ship so late. So certainly on the first night, I would recommend a later dinner unless there's really a show that you want to see. Then in terms of the rest of the dinners are an experience on Scarlet Lady. They run from 90 minutes to 2.5 hours. These are not quick meals. So, depending on the times of the shows, I would say you want to make your dinner reservations at least 2 hours before the show. And if you need to adjust them at all, so far the ship is not sailing full. We had 1,100 out of a total capacity of 2,770. So if you need to make any adjustment, but I would think that you would want to sit down 2 hours before the show. So whatever time the show is, you want to sit down 2 hours before it because they are experiences and they're laid back. The exception to that is Pink Agave. Pink Agave was like 45 minutes. We were in, we were out. It was so fast. You got something, Rebecca? No? Okay. But like Test Kitchen was 2.5 hours. The Wake was about 2 hours. We did not eat dinner at Razzle Dazzle. I would expect that would be a little faster. That's a quick one. Extra Virgin was supposed to be about 90 minutes or so, but we told them when we sat down, we had a 70-minute window. We had just come from a secret show and we had 70 minutes to get to dual reality. And so we told them that. So if you're on a time crunch, tell them when you sit down. Extra Virgin is supposed to be a 4-course meal. They made it a 3-course meal for us. They brought the pasta course and the entree together. And so we got out. We had 15 minutes to walk, actually about 10 minutes to walk down to the theater. So I would definitely say on the Scarlet Lady, if you want to go see a show, you want to have dinner at least 2 hours before the show, or you want to sit down 2 hours before the show. So Rebecca is holding up a note that says she thinks most of the shows are around 9 p.m. with the occasional 6 p.m.-ish show. So, so if you're having dinner, by 6:30, 7 o'clock most nights, and like I said, the first night, I personally would not make dinner before 8 p.m. because we got on so late. We didn't get on the ship till almost 2:30. And then, of course, you start noshing, and then you're just not that hungry. So there you go. So I hope that's helpful, Retired in Florida. If there's something else you'd like to know, please drop it in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. Scarlet Lady was a fun ship. I would really like to book an 8-night on the Valiant Lady when she comes over for the winter season. The experience is totally different than what everybody else made it out to be. It's very much like going on celebrity cruises, at least for me. That's what the vibe felt like. Yeah, there's some wild and crazy shows on there, but there's some wild and crazy shows on a lot of ships too. Yeah. Hi, Jay. Good to see you. An old fashioned is good for breakfast. It's got oranges in it, right? So that's something. And in fact, I was talking to somebody in the Cruise Critic forums who said he makes an orange oil syrup. And now I need to look that up because I make a mint syrup and I make a ginger syrup, but I've never made an orange oil syrup. He mentioned it in one of the Virgin Voyages threads. So yeah, I need to figure out how to make that. So good to see you, Jay. Thanks for joining us. Really do appreciate. I see Jenner's Patter's Cruising Channel. Hi, good evening. Welcome to the show. You're going on to Scarlet Lady next month with your parents. Should we watch the Never Sleep Alone show or will it be awkward? I don't know. So here's the thing about that show. It is a cabaret show. I didn't realize it was going to be a cabaret show. So she's up there with a band. She is singing. Now, keep in mind, I only saw 10 minutes of it because it really wasn't my thing. It felt like she was trying way too hard to be provocative. But from what I understand, so they're going to give out masks as you walk in. They're going to be different colored masks, like Mardi Gras masks. And what they can do at certain times, they may ask somebody wearing a red mask to go walk over to another person with a red mask and tell them what your ultimate desire would be. And if they want to hook up with you, you can go ahead and leave the show and hook up. But I don't really know what the entire show. It could be a little awkward. I don't know if your parents are free thinking. I guess you could have fun. The show really didn't appeal to me at all. Like I said, I watched about 10 minutes of it, and I'm like, this is what it is. Yeah, she's trying so hard to be provocative. I think what would be more interesting would be the secret show. So on Virgin Voyages, they do secret shows. And the way you get to go to a secret show is a crew member walks up to you at some point and says, would you like to go see a secret show? And they don't tell you what the show is, but they will give you a hint. And the big thing they'll tell you is whether the show is sexual or not, because the sexologist or whatever she's called does put on a sex show. And then they will hand you the cards, and that grants you entrance. And all they say is be at this place at that time. And that's it. And when we did it, they led us through the bowels of the ship. In fact, I've got it on both the tour of the Scarlet Lady and I have a separate standalone video of the secret show. So you can see how we walked on in, was not allowed to film in there. But it's a space for about 30 people, literally right in the bow of the ship. I think that could be an interesting show. George and Christine went to it, right? Hooking up. Rebecca held up a note saying hooking up is not required. And by the way, you can take the mask off. If you don't want to participate in anything, you take the mask off. I don't know if it'll be awkward or not. I don't know you, and I don't know your parents. I know my mom probably would have laughed at it. She would have given me a funny look and then laughed about it. I know one of my grandmothers would have just loved it. Oh, Nani Biscardi would have just been cracking up the whole night. She would have been just killer. But I mean, so that show is what you make of it. It wasn't anything that was awesome for us. So our friends George and Christine went to the regularly scheduled talk with the sexologist, not the secret show. Oh, so she had a talk as well?
Yeah.
I got you. So she has a show. She has Never Sleep Alone, and then she also has a kind of like a talk show as well. So I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Are you comfortable talking about sex with your parents? I guess that's a question. I don't know. Man, suddenly this show took a weird turn, but okay, that's good. I'll roll with it. So I really don't know. It's an interesting show. I didn't really care for it. What I did love, though, was the Diva show. The Diva Drag show was really a lot of fun. And one of the cutest parts of that show was when the show was over and we start to exit, they played the Love Boat theme over the PA system. And literally the entire crowd was singing it as we were walking. We all knew the words. And I wish I had my GoPro rolling because that was really a lot of fun. We're all just singing it as we're walking out of a theater. That was so awesome. So thank you for that question. If there's anything else I can answer for you about the Scarlet Lady, please ask. We really had a good time. Yeah, Rebecca saying proves not everybody was a millennial. I'll tell you that on our cruise, the average age was probably between 45 and 55 years old. And we saw some people who were definitely, in their 80s and 90s, saw a couple with a walker. The one interesting thing was that we didn't see a whole lot of scooters. I only saw one scooter actually the entire time. It's the same woman a couple of times. But this is the first ship that we've been on in a long time that we didn't have a whole bunch of scooters running around. But we did have this one lovely couple with walkers. So we had everything from, I'd say, 18 to 90 years old. And what was really cool about that ship, the crew was so incredibly welcoming. It wasn't like, oh, you're old, we don't want to deal with you. They were just so cool, so happy, so fun. So anybody who wants to try out Virgin Voyage, I really think you should. If you like to cruise, I really think you should try it out. Absolutely. I just saw somebody else was here. Hi, cruising is fun anytime. Of course it is. Of course it is. Hi, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. What, Christy, scandalous? Yes, that's what Virgin Voyages is known for, scandal. But that's not what it's all is. I mean, it's just so funny because the ship is supposed to be, it's all sexual, it's all this. One thing I can tell you about Virgin Voyages, there's nothing that happens outside of her shows that will make you uncomfortable. Absolutely no. There's no sexual anything that pops up around the ship. So you don't have to worry about it. If you don't want to participate in it, you don't participate in it. In terms of the big shows, Dual Reality, we went and saw that. That was really cool. Untitled Dance Party thing. It's okay. I mean, if you like experimental dance, and it is kind of neat that if you want to participate, there's a big dance floor down there. Wasn't my cup of tea, but then again, there's a lot of shows on Celebrity that we don't like either. But the thing that really did surprise both of us was how much great music there was all over the ship. A lot of really good music. So if you're a person that really likes music, you like live music, there's a lot to love on that ship. And if you're a person that just wants a quiet night, the ship is actually incredibly quiet at night. Yeah. So really a lot of fun. And now I'm talking myself into booking another cruise. So of course I want to go on another cruise. So welcome everybody. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for joining us on a Wednesday night. One of the things that I would love to know in the comments is, do you like this time? We're trying out this time, 7 p.m. On the East Coast here. And we're kind of trying out this time because this used to be the time that we would do a TikTok live every Wednesday night. We do a TikTok live on Saturday mornings at 10:30. And then we would do a TikTok live on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And we decided to move one of them over to YouTube. And so we're trying out this 7 p.m. at Wednesday. And I would love to know in the comments, do you like this particular time? Or would you maybe have us do it at a different time or a different day? So I'd love to hear your comments down there. Jennifer Patterson, you've been on hold with Virgin for about 2 days trying to book the bar tab. Did you have any problems with the app? We didn't really have any problems with the app. We used Delta Cruises, which is a division of Delta Airlines, and they handled everything for us. We did not do the bar tab. We just simply paid for the drinks a la carte. Do you have any idea about what we paid? You know, what the bar tab ran for the week?
I thought we did that at one point, but I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, so we did not do the bar tab. Now the way the bar tab works right now is you have to buy in $300 at a time. You can only buy in $300 increments, and they do give you a bonus on top of that. And for November, I believe they're giving a bar tab to the cabin for booking a cabin. And unlike a drink package from any other cruise line, the bar tab can be used for anybody. It's not just for you. You can buy anybody drinks that you want to. So, oh, good. I see people are talking about the time. Are you using a travel agent, Jenners? You know, that's what I would be doing. I'd make them do it so that you don't have to try that. In terms of the app was definitely flaky before we got on the ship. It actually worked surprisingly well on the ship. It did get updated like 2 or 3 times. In fact, it was just updated, I think, last week. So make sure you're running the latest version of it. So yeah, I have heard that there are some long hold times, but you know, your travel agent has specific people that they get to call into. Like, they don't just call into the public numbers like you're doing right now. So if you're working with a travel agent, they will call in. And as always, travel agents are 100% free. You do not have to pay them anything. They get their commission from the cruise line. So that's why we still use them. We've been on 18 cruises. We still use a travel agent for every single cruise. Gary Bembridge has been on, I think he said 95 cruises, and he uses a travel agent for every single cruise. I mean, that man could book his own cruises very easily, but he uses one particular travel agent that he really, really likes. So, but no, the app worked surprisingly well on the ship. And I say surprisingly well because the app was terrible when it first came out. I mean, it didn't even work. But it worked quite well once we were on the ship. It worked pretty good prior to the cruise. It wasn't perfect. Certainly the Royal Caribbean app is better. The Carnival app is better. I'll definitely say that. But you know, good luck. I hope you can get through. I don't know if that's something that you could, well, I guess you can't do that online. Yeah, you do have to call in. So,
we didn't buy it, sort of.
Yeah, we didn't buy it. So I think Christine and George might have, but I can't remember. They did, yeah. So we'll see if Christine comes in. Oh, somebody, hold on a second. Where is it? Upside down pineapples on some doors. Well, Rebecca is saying that Virgin Voyages doesn't allow any decorations on the door. However, I have seen pictures and videos of upside down pineapples on Virgin Voyages doors. But as a rule, Virgin Voyages does not allow you to put anything on the doors. So the room stewards are supposed to take them down when they come in. So just so you know, if you're used to decorating your doors on Disney, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, all the other cruise lines, Virgin does not like it. So they will take your stuff down. But you don't really need the upside down pineapples. Honestly, this is an adult ship, all adult ship. Everybody's an adult on there. So, you know, and you know, it's interesting being an adult without the kids is freeing in a lot of ways. And it's really funny. There was somebody that we were in the pool with who said, I kind of wish they had some water slides and some other things like that on here because you can never use them on the ships with all the kids. And I didn't even think about it until he said it. I'm like, you know, you're right. It would be kind of fun if there were some water slides and some of that fun rope courses and things like that we can't do because the kids are always hogging it. You know, even having a mini golf course would have been nice on there. So that would have been a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody who has chimed in on the time. It sounds like y'all are good with the time. So yeah, we'll just keep making it work at this time. It's good for us here on the East Coast. I enjoy it. So, but Jenner, you know, good luck. Like I said, if you're using a travel agent at all, I would turn it over to them and just let them deal with it. So yeah, but good luck with it. I wish there was something I could do to help you. I can't. All I can tell you is that we met a couple on the cruise line on the Scarlet Lady who are apparently like in the top 100 Virgin Voyages travel agents. And, you know, I could refer you to them. I could also refer you over to Delta Cruises. Like I said, that's who we use. We typically use Costco Travel. We love them for two reasons. One, we get a cash card from Costco after the cruise. We've gotten between $50 and $450, depending on, the booking, the cabin, the itinerary, the cruise line. There's a lot of factors that go into it. But once the cruise is completed, we get a cash card. But the other big reason is we get really good insurance from Costco at a great price. So we get trip insurance, travel insurance on every single cruise. And Costco is really, really good at giving us high quality trip insurance at a great price. So, Christy, you've never heard of the pineapple thing. Wait till you come here, and Mark can tell you all about the loofahs up at the Villages. Oh my goodness, there's just this whole system up there that's absolutely crazy. So Tammy, you're taking the grandkids on Carnival. You're going on the Harmony of the Seas in October for your second. So you've already got 2 cruises planned. That's awesome. Your first 2. Wow. And that's going to be quite the difference too, because the Carnival Breeze is going to look like a tugboat once you get onto the Harmony. You're going to be like, oh my God, this thing is so big. We've not been on an Oasis class yet. We are going on the Symphony of the Seas, December 17th. We're really, really looking forward to it and seeing what that is all about. Now, our dear friend Stephanie over at Sean and Steph IRL, if you have not subscribed to her yet, she has an absolutely fabulous channel over there. She is now a solo traveler. She used to travel with her husband, Sean, until we lost him last year. Just an absolutely lovely woman. And the reason why I'm pointing her out to you is because she just went on the Wonder of the Seas. She has been on, I think, Symphony of the Seas. So she's been on a couple of those big ships. She's also been on, I think, a sister to the Carnival Breeze. So you may see that there. And another great channel to subscribe to is Hard Travel, in terms of just getting a tour of the ships. That's the channel that we use all the time to take a tour of the ship before we go on, because Danny does a really good job, top to bottom, front to back, no nonsense. You'll know where all the soft serve ice creams are at the end of it, because that's like his favorite thing. And then the other thing he does is he has a whole series of short episodes of all the cabin types that are on that particular ship. So if you're researching a ship and you want to know what the Aqua class cabin looks like, a good chance Danny Har either has that particular ship in that cabin, or he has a similar ship in that class with a cabin. So that's a couple of really good channels to subscribe to. What do we got going on here? Oasis class. Oasis class is your favorite. That is apparently it's the best-selling class for Royal Caribbean right now. And now this Icon class is going to be even bigger. Gotta say, I kind of like what Norwegian's doing with the Prima. The ship is almost 150,000 gross tons, but she can only carry 3,100 passengers, which is low for a ship that big. And it looks like they really elevated the fun and they really elevated the elegance. So I really like what I see coming out of NCL. But it's going to be interesting for us to experience the Oasis class. We've done the Freedom class and we've done the Voyager class. We've done the Mariner of the Seas and Freedom of the Seas. So we've not done the Oasis class. So I'm really looking forward to it. Doesn't have the bumper cars and the iFly, which is what I was really looking forward to on the Odyssey, but they changed our Odyssey cruise. So I'll just deal with. You know what I've never done? I've never done the Flow Rider. I'm planning to do the Flow Rider for the first time. So Jay, you've got a good question there. How many different classes, sizes of cruise ships are available? Throughout the world, there's a lot. There are, last time I looked, there was something like 360 cruise ships out there right now. And you've got ships anywhere from, say, about 200 people all the way up to the Oasis class with Royal Caribbean, which is pushing 7,000 passengers on them. So, so I think like Royal Caribbean, I think has 6 right now, 6 classes, and they just get bigger and bigger. And a class is just simply a model. The Royal Caribbean and Carnival have the most ships in their fleets. Carnival is the largest cruise company, period. I forget how many they own, like 7 or 8 cruise lines. But Jay, yeah, let's just say there's a lot of classes, and each particular cruise line has a set number of classes. Like right now, Celebrity only has 3. Norwegian just introduced the Prima. The Prima is a brand new class of ship. So there are a lot, Jay. There are a lot. And what's really cool about cruising, there's a ship out there for everybody. If you want a small ship experience, you want to go hit some really cool off the beaten path ports, you can do that. You want to be on a big mega ship with, all the bells and whistles on it, you can do that. And then there's everything in between. So that's one of the reasons why we love cruising so much, is because there's just so many options available to you on cruise ship. No two ships are alike. Even two Oasis class ships are not exactly alike. I think the most alike we've seen anything were the Solstice class ships on Celebrity. I mean, they were almost identical to each other, but oftentimes they start to tweak the class a little bit. So Kelly Banks, what are your thoughts on the switch to Starlink internet? So we talked a little bit about this earlier. I'm excited. I'm really excited for a couple of reasons. One, I have been wanting to work remotely on a cruise ship, and people think I'm nuts. Like, oh, you want to work on a cruise ship? Think about it. It is the ultimate remote workspace. You've got your coffee shop, you got your restaurants, you got your pools, you got your shows, and you've got nice wide open spaces to go sit, relax, and do your work. And this is promising up to 350 megabytes per second. Obviously, satellite coverage is going to affect that. And then the other thing that I really hope that this does, because it's supposedly cheaper. That's the big reason why they're doing it. Now, they have to pay between $5,000 and $10,000 per receiver. And I don't know how many receivers actually have to be on the ship. I know Freedom of the Seas, I think, was testing with either 6 or 12 on board. So obviously the number of receivers on board is going to depend on the size of the ship, how many passengers, how many crew, and all of that good stuff. But supposedly the service itself coming from Starlink is going to be much, much cheaper than what they're paying right now. So my hope is that across the Royal Caribbean group, meaning Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Silversea, they might introduce an included Wi-Fi package. If the price dropped enough, why can't they just simply offer you a base Wi-Fi package that's good enough to check your email, maybe post some pictures, and that's it? Just like Scarlet Lady, Virgin Voyages, that Wi-Fi was really good. That Wi-Fi was the best Wi-Fi on any cruise that I have ever been on. Now, Rebecca had the basic Wi-Fi on the Scarlet Lady, and she could stream TikTok all day long. She could check email, go on the internet, do all that good stuff. I paid an extra $10 a day. I did 2 1-hour live streams from the ship, and one of them, the ship was at sea moving. I was able to stream video from pretty much anything I wanted to stream from. Internet was really, really good on that ship. So what I'm hoping is that if this Starlink service truly is cheaper, that will allow Royal Caribbean to at least offer, included Wi-Fi in your base fare. And then I'm betting, I don't know what kind of speed they're actually going to be able to get on the ship, but I'm going to bet there will be at least 2, maybe 3 levels of internet, depending on what you want to pay for. Now, for us as a consumer, the price is probably going to go up over what we're already paying now. But I'm really, really hoping that with this savings, that this means that Royal Caribbean can now roll the internet in, at least just some sort of a basic package. So Rebecca's saying she would be shocked if they include the internet. I don't know. I think it's something that, Celebrity's already doing it, sort of. Celebrity has that thing where the Wi-Fi is included. They do charge you a little extra for it. But that's what I'm hoping, that maybe Royal might finally start to roll it out, especially, we're all talking about it on Virgin. So maybe Virgin will be a catalyst for everybody else. Good tea. Mark is saying, I will enjoy the Oasis class. Thank you, Mark. I cannot wait to go. Jay Sawyer is asking, what does that do to your internet speed depending on how many people are online on a given ship? Well, that is all dependent on the ship itself. The newer ship have a lot more repeaters on them. In fact, Virgin Voyages, Virgin and even Norwegian, we were on the Escape. I could see that we had repeaters either in the room or literally right outside the door. So it depends on how many repeaters they have on the ship and also where you are. So a lot of time, the weakest spot is going to be out on your balconies. Almost always out on the balconies is going to be bad. And then when you're in the bowels of the ship, sometimes if there's no repeaters around. It does slow down on certain ships when everybody hits it. In fact, I saw it on the Carnival Mardi Gras. Early in the morning, I had really good speeds. And then as the day went on, it would slow down a little bit. And then very, very late at night, it would pick up again. So yeah, it does ebb and flow depending on how many people on it. And the amount of that ebb and flow depends on the ship itself. And also what kind of signal is actually getting from the satellite at that time. Because again, the signal ebbs and flows depending on where the ship is in relation to the various satellites. So it does go up and down. It does go up and down. And how much It does just depends on the ship itself, how many repeaters and how good their system is. Great question, Jay. Thank you. Tammy, and you always leave it in airplane mode. Oh God, yes. There was a TikTok I just did, and a viewer asked me, hey, I just got home and I got a $500 Verizon bill. Why did that happen? And they didn't realize there was a difference between Wi-Fi and the cellular. They're like, well, if I go into airplane mode, then I can't use the phone. It's like, no, you go into airplane mode, you turn on the Wi-Fi. So cruise ships have maritime cellular, and it's really expensive. And I looked it up. It's as much as $14 per megabyte on download for data. So an email could be a megabyte. So like you get 20 emails that are a megabyte, and it's 14 times 20 right there just for getting those emails. And if you do not go into airplane mode, your phone will ping that maritime cellular, and you will get hit with a lot of charges like this poor person did. $500 from Verizon for a 1 week cruise. So yes, put it in the airplane mode the moment you get on the ship. Now we happen to have T-Mobile. That gives us a really good rate in 150 countries, like all of the Caribbean. So when we do get to a country, we turn the cellular back on. It's like 25 cents a minute for us to make a phone call. So if we want to call somebody, we wait till we're, on land to do that. But when we're on the ship itself, airplane mode, everybody has to be in airplane mode, man, and then just use the ship Wi-Fi. So Mel, hi, Mel. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. You've heard you can get a good deal on your next cruise while you're on a current cruise. So then you're acting as your own travel agent, I assume. That's a great question. So yes, you do get, now whether you get a good deal or not is up for debate. What you tend to get is some added perks sometimes. A lot of times the deposit is really, really cheap on a ship. Like it could be like $50 deposit, $100 deposit versus what you would typically do. And, they do sometimes throw in a few perks, maybe a dining package, maybe a drink package, maybe, just a little bit off. If they're running a sale, like if they're just running a standard sale, then yes, you will get more off. But there's always a little something. There is an advantage to booking the cruise on the ship. But then there's something called a transfer. I see Rebecca just wrote this very long note that she's now going to hand me. So Rebecca is saying that, the amount of advantage you're going to get depends on whether you actually book a specific cruise. Say I'm going to book a cruise for December 17th on the Symphony. The other thing you can do is just simply get an open booking. So that means you've made a deposit, but you haven't picked your cruise yet. You're going to do that at a later date. And then basically, if you have booked the current cruise with a travel agent, then that cruise line will just pretty much automatically, you just tell them who the travel agent is, and they will roll the cruise over to that travel agent.
You don't have to tell them. They know.
Oh, they know. Yeah, you don't have to tell them because they know. They'll look at your current booking and they'll see, like with us, they would see Costco Travel attached to it. And then they would just say, would you like to roll this over to Costco? And we say, yes. If you don't have a travel agent, they have 30 days, something like that.
Depends on the cruise line.
So if you don't have a travel agent and you're on the ship and you want to take advantage of one of those like next cruise deals, you can go ahead and book it. And then you've got 30 days to attach it to a travel agent. So basically, if you pick up John as your travel agent, you would simply give them the booking number and all of that, and then they would have the cruise transferred over to them. And the advantage of that is, one, you're going to get your deal on the ship. You're going to get whatever they're offering you. But two, if you need to make any changes or you need to contact the cruise line for any reason at all, the travel agent has to do it and you don't. So yes, you can book it yourself on the ship, and then you transfer the cruise over to your travel agent. And the cruise line will do it automatically for you if you're currently on a cruise that would book through a travel agent. That's a fantastic question, Mel. Thank you so much for asking. And thank you for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. Let's see now. We've got Tammy is asking, can you use the cruise line app to message each other without purchasing Wi-Fi? I thought I read that somewhere. So you're going on Carnival, and the answer is yes on that one. It's a $5 fee.
Flat fee for the whole.
Yeah, so it's a $5 flat fee per person on Carnival, and the answer is yes on Carnival. On Royal Caribbean,
I think it's a fee per day.
Yeah, Rebecca thinks it's a fee per day per person. We're not exactly sure. But again, I think you can use it without purchasing the Wi-Fi packet because that's a part of the app. It's a part of the app that you just simply turn on and off. Yeah. So in general, you don't have to purchase Wi-Fi to use the chat feature that's included within the Cruise Line app. You just have to pay for it. I think Disney's the only one we've been on where it's included. It's just automatically there. It was, yeah, the last time we were on there. So, we got thunder coming in. We got another storm coming in. But yeah, if it's the chat feature within the Cruise Line app, you should not have to buy Wi-Fi, because you don't need to buy Wi-Fi just to use the Cruise Line app on the ship. And all you're doing is turning on a feature. So with Celebrity, it should be $5 per person. And then Rebecca thinks it's on Royal, it's going to be a fee per day.
Carnival and Royal, not Celebrity and Royal.
Oh, Carnival and Royal. Sorry. Oh, Kelly, you said you get an international plan through Verizon. You only get charged $10 for a 24-hour period. If you use it, that works for us. That's a great idea. Like I said, our T-Mobile plan has it built in. If you don't have it built in, yes, you can certainly do things like that, where you can purchase an international plan just for the amount of time that you're going to be away, and then you don't get dinged. But again, do not leave your phone on when you're on the ship. Switch it to airplane mode and go to Wi-Fi, because you will just use up all of that instantaneously, and then you will get that $500 or more bill when you get home. You're welcome, Mel. I'm glad that it was useful. There's Christy. Yeah, that's right. Christy was just on a Royal Caribbean ship, and our good friend Tristan is on the ship. He's on a Mariner of the Seas right now. Tammy, you said you got the free Wi-Fi to use the app, and then you had to pay $2 a day to use the messaging. Awesome. That is awesome. And yes, Christy is absolutely correct. The Wi-Fi will work only for the app unless you have paid for the internet package. If you don't pay for the internet package, all you can do is look at all those wonderful deals from Royal Caribbean, look at the menus. But it is cool that it does work, and it is cool that they do have that messaging feature on there, so you don't have to pay for Wi-Fi or internet to use it. So very, very cool. Mark, yes, Mark Serini there. Word to the wise, stay aware of the recent COVID regulations. And what he's talking about there, over in Europe, there are much more stringent requirements when it comes to being fully vaccinated. Here in the United States, as far as I know, everywhere in the United States, being fully vaccinated means that you got the full 2 cycles, two shots initially.
Or one of J&J.
Or one of J&J. Although I don't know. They may have required that to be the second one too. But they don't require boosters here in the United States to be fully vaccinated. Some ports over in Europe do. They do require, like, you needed to have your last shot within a certain amount of time of the cruise leaving. And Mark has kind of run into a situation there where he's supposed to take a cruise over in Europe, and they are requiring a booster. Mark can't get the booster just for health reasons. He cannot get the booster. So hopefully they're going to be able to work with him on that. And, that's something that is unique to Europe right now, that they are doing it. But keep an eye on the United States, because literally today, both the Pfizer and Moderna new vaccine update that includes the BA4 and the BA5 subvariants was approved by the FDA. CDC is expected to approve it, and possibly by Labor Day, that vaccine will start rolling out within the United States. So as we go into the fall and winter, it's very, very possible you could see a cruise line recommend and require a booster to go in there. So, yeah. Mark, that would be great. Take a rowboat transatlantic. You and Debbie could alternate rowing. I don't know, but yeah, that's a very good point there. Be sure to keep up with all of the regulations that are going on, because they are changing all the time, and everything about COVID is changing all the time. Now, one thing I did notice, if you have not seen the Norwegian Prima footage that's been coming out, the crew is not wearing masks. It's actually kind of nice. It took me a second to realize that they weren't wearing masks, and it was really, really nice. Arizona Cruiser is saying 9 months or 290 days for that booster. You're following closely. Oh, okay. So there you go. You're leaving for the Mediterranean on October 11th. I think that is basically what Mark saw as well. So, there is one thing that I do want to talk about on this, and I finally figured out how to show videos on StreamYard. So I don't know if you guys saw But there's a really fun thing that came out today. MSC announced Robotron. What a great name. I love the name. I'm waiting for the whole robot to just come up out of the deck. But it's this arm that is going to be a thrill ride on the ship. So it's kind of like their answer to the Bolt. You know, Carnival came out with the Bolt roller coaster. So now apparently MSC has to come out with a thrill ride for their ship. I'm really curious, will any of you ride this? Oh my goodness gracious. This thing, here we go. Here we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. And if you look below, there is a bar down there. There's a bar right below this canopy, and they swing out over the seats. There's the seats. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness gracious. This is Robotron coming to the MSC Seascape. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It looks like they're trying to hit them on the head as they land there at the end. So would you ride that? Would you ride that? Come on, people. Come on, people. Gary Benbridge already said that he won't because he doesn't even do roller coasters. So I said, hold my beer. I don't even think I want to do it. What I thought was hysterical, if you look below, there's that lovely awning, just like, you know, just going out over those seats. I'm like, oh my God, those seats right below it are going to be the splash zone. Yeah, that's going to be like the vomit comet. Oh my God. What are they thinking? I mean, are people really going to ride this thing? Oh my goodness gracious. Here we go. Push them out. Like, see the way the awning is shaped down there? So the awning is just going to feed, shall we say, the moisture right down to the people down below. Oh, that extra hot dog I had is not feeling too good. Oh, there goes the chocolate shake. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, all that shrimp on the buffet. I'm not too sure about this right now. Oh, my goodness. I don't know. I think we're going to see a lot of really good video coming from the MSC Seascape in a couple of months. The picture itself, I was like, wow, this is interesting. And then I saw the video. I was like, no. I would have to do that first thing in the morning before I eat or drink anything. In fact, that's kind of the way we did Guardians of the Galaxy when we went to the preview. We had a 10:30 in the morning slot to ride Guardians of the Galaxy at Epcot. And I told Rebecca, I'm like, I'm just going to eat really, really lightly or nothing at all. And then after we did the ride, then I went and had a nice meal. I don't know. And I just love that the bar is right below it, or at least seats, you know, with that awning, which will just allow stuff to run off straight down there. So word to the wise, don't sit in those seats while the ride is running. Oh, MSC. You know, it may turn into a big winner for them, but I don't know. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. I thought it was hysterical, but I do love the name. So kudos to whoever came up with Robotron. That's awesome. That's just totally awesome. They should make the Transformer. They should have like a Japanese company make the Transformer. That would be killer. Like comes up out of the deck. Like that's just one of the arms, and then another arm comes up somewhere else, and then the head pops up. That would just be killer. That whole top deck turns into a Transformer. I want to know who's going to ride that. I really want to know who's going to ride that. That is absolutely freaking hysterical. And actually, you know, I talked about the Prima. If you haven't seen it, my goodness, what a stunningly beautiful ship. It was christened in Iceland, of all places. How cool is that? Tammy saying take an umbrella. I like that. So what's with the umbrella? Oh, you know, they're just running the ride up there. You know, I'm just, you know, it'd be kind of like going to Gallagher, you know, remember the old Gallagher show when he smashed the watermelons, you put the plastic over you? It'd be just like that. But Katy Perry is the godmother. And if you have not seen some of the footage coming out of the Norwegian Prima, the press sailing, go right here on YouTube and do a search for Norwegian NCL Prima. There are a lot of super cool things on that ship, not the least of which is the Ocean Boulevard. You know, with the Breakaway class, they came out with the Waterfront, which was one of our favorite features on the Escape and the Getaway. Well, now they have Ocean Boulevard, which is even bigger. It has zones. It has all kinds of seating. It has bars. It has infinity pools. Oh my God. It's absolutely amazing. And then they one up Virgin Voyages. They had the Indulge food hall, which number one, they have seating at most of the food stations. So you can actually belly up at the bar and eat whatever they're serving. But the other thing they did, they have touchpads on almost all of the tables so that you order via a touchpad. Whereas with Virgin, you have to wait for a waiter to actually come over and take your order when it's busy. I really like that. And it reminded me that we used the touchpads on the Norwegian Escape in Food Republic. And it was absolutely fantastic. So if you have not seen any of the footage yet from the Norwegian Prima, is any of you going on that ship? Any of you looking forward to going on that ship? She's going to come over to New York very shortly. I think she's going to do a couple of sailings out of New York. Then she'll do a couple out of Miami. I think she goes to Galveston, do a couple, and then she'll come back to Port Canaveral, which is going to be her home port in Port Canaveral. But is anybody booked on a cruise with her? I'm going to be very jealous if you are. Our dear friend Stephanie is going on the first transatlantic back to Europe. So I think I don't know, probably like in October of next year, she'll be taking the Prima back over to Europe, which should be an absolutely amazing cruise. And speaking of which, what cruises are you guys taking? Anybody going on a cruise? And Rebecca had a great poll question. Where is that poll question? I know we're getting to the end of the hour here, but she had a fantastic poll question that I want to pop up here. And this is a fun one. I'd love to hear your comments, and then we'll wrap up the show in a little bit. But all three cost exactly the same. Which would you do? A, 1 week in a suite. B, 2 weeks in a balcony. Or C, 4 weeks in an interior. They all cost exactly the same. So yeah. So this is a hypothetical. They all cost exactly the same. Which would you do given that choice? Would you go for the suite and get all the perks that come with it? Would you take the balcony and get that extra week on the ship? Or would you just go for the interior and say, I want a month away from everybody? Would love to know. Oh, we got a couple of B's here. A couple of people taking the 2 weeks in the suite or in the balcony. 2 weeks in the balcony. We did the suite on Virgin Voyages. I can tell you now that we've done it, there really there's no reason to do a suite on the Virgin Voyages other than the prestige of doing it. Of course, you do get a bar, which is really nice. Mark is going for the suite. Jay's going for the full month on the ship. Good call, Jay. Oh, I mean, there's no wrong answer here. Just curious what y'all would do. My answer would probably be B, the 2 weeks in the balcony. 1 week on a ship just simply is not long enough at all. You got to have at least 2 weeks on a ship to really enjoy it. And that was the biggest bummer with Virgin Voyages, was it's only a 5-night cruise. So it's like, you're just getting into it, and then we're getting kicked off the ship. So I kind of wish instead of booking the suite, we'd have done the 2 weeks in the balcony, or the 10 days in the balcony. But we got to experience what the rockstar life is all about. We got the bar. Our balcony was bigger than most cabins. I mean, our balcony was 550 square feet. I don't know that we've ever had a cabin that big, to be honest with you. Maybe the Aqua Class cabin, maybe. But the balcony itself was...
Junior Suite on Mariner.
Oh, yeah, Junior Suite on Mariner. Oh, my goodness. If you are looking for value, I mean, real good value, the Junior Suite on Mariner of the Seas, holy crap. The walk-in closet was big enough to be a bedroom. I mean, it could be a single-person bedroom in the walk-in closet. It was that big. So they were just big. Some of the older ships have these really big cabins. And apparently, Norwegian Prima, that's one of their selling points, is they have some of the largest cabins in the fleet on that particular ship. So that is really awesome. So, yes, Christy, eventually laundry does have to be done, especially if you're going to be on there for 4 weeks. But that's what the laundry's for. Yes, send it out. And some ships do have self-serve laundry, like Disney has it. The Princess ships have it. I think some of the carnivals. Some carnivals have it. So they do have self-serve laundry on some ships that you can go do. In fact, Disney Wish has one of the nicest self-serve laundries I have ever seen, land or sea. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't seen it yet, look up the Disney Wish laundry room. It is stunning. There should be a bar in there. There really should. Just like Hook's barbershop. He has a bourbon bar in the barbershop. So there should be a bar in the Disney Wish laundry room. There totally should be. Absolutely. But that's fun. So, and what I will throw out here as our last question of the night, what cruise line or ship are you guys most looking forward to trying? I mean, whether you have it booked or not, whether it's a wish or not, what ship would you love to try? What would you love to try? Now, you know what's really funny? Rebecca's laughing, and then I see the comments like 2 seconds later. So, oh, yeah. Robotron is also going to be responsible for all the laundry that you have to do when you throw up all over yourself.
But they don't
So,
take quarters. They take
you
the SIM
know,
card.
yeah, they take the cards, you know. All I can say is, you know, oh man, I guess maybe that's why there's only 3 people on the ride. You know, they could have done it with 6. Maybe that's why there's only 3 at a time. So it's just, you know, stays. But seriously, you know, if you could pick a ship or a cruise line, what are you looking forward to trying next? We have done 8 cruise lines now. Insanity. And we have loved them all. We have not done MSC yet. We really want to do MSC. I would really like to try P&O. P&O looks like a lovely cruise line over in Europe. And I'd even like to try AIDA. You know, it's a German cruise line. And Captain Kate just did a visit with the AIDA Cosma. Rebecca's doing one of these over there. But I'd actually like to see it. I do like the looks of a ship. There is a lot of smoking. It is a German cruise line. So there is a lot of smoking. Christy wants to try the Disney one day. Jenners is saying, looking forward to the food on Virgin. Oh my God. Yes, you will have a good time eating the food on Virgin. You know, the one thing I didn't eat enough of, though, was the ice cream. And I forgot to film myself. I think we only went there like once or twice, and I forgot to film myself there. I will say the pizza, really, really good. So the one night, the only meal that left us a little bit on the, you know, we weren't like starving, but we were a little bit hungry after a meal, was the test kitchen. But the test kitchen is this whole, you know, micro. It's a really cool dinner. But we were a little bit hungry afterwards, so we went to the pizza joint after that, and we got a truffle and egg.
No, that was the day we got the cheese one.
Okay, what was it? Truffle and egg? Was that other one?
Yeah.
Yeah, a truffle and egg pizza. Ooh, really, really good. So, Joyce wants to try MSC and Disney. Yes, good call. Disney is a lovely cruise line. I swear we would do more cruises with them if they weren't so dang expensive. We did the Disney Fantasy. And for that particular cruise, Rebecca got a deal that was something like $3,100, $3,200 for the 2 of us for a week in a balcony, which is right on par with everybody else, especially for the size of the balcony that we had on that ship. But yeah, Disney, and you know, Disney can get away with it. People are buying. And as long as people keep buying that, I mean, look at the prices on the Wish. The Wish is insane for 4 and 3 days, but people are doing it. And that is a stunning ship. Yes, truffle and egg is absolutely yummo. So freaking good. So, and Rebecca was disappointed. There was one particular pizza that she saw online on the menu, but they didn't actually have it there. In fact, she said the girl looked at her like she was crazy, didn't know what the heck that thing was. Yeah, it's a jalapeno and avocado pizza of some sort that's on the menu online, but they don't actually make it there. So, oh, and I heard something. I don't know if it's true, but in the Virgin Voyages forum on Cruise Critics, somebody said they're now alternating the menus in the test kitchen. 3 days, one menu, 3 days, the other menu. So they had one menu from the time they launched up until shortly before we boarded, and then they switched to the menu that we had. I guess maybe a lot of people were asking for the old menu. So that person said they are now switching off like every three days. I don't know if it's true or not. But I can say that the menu that we had was fantastic. And they do have a vegetarian option. Obviously, it's a very veggie friendly ship. So, you know, any kind of vegetarian and all that. Tammy, is it best to prepay the gratuity? Fantastic question. I'm going to say yes, Rebecca. Oh, Rebecca just did one of these. So Rebecca's writing down notes. Again, she has a microphone. Would you guys like to hear her talk? I think instead of writing these notes, she could just talk into this lovely microphone that I have provided. See, here it is. See, here's the proof. There is a microphone right in front of her. She's turned it off, but she does have one. So see, Mark is saying hello. It would be rude not to say hello back. Yeah, right. She's waving. She's waving. Yeah. Yeah, see, they're saying yes. That's going to be the next poll question. How many would like to see Rebecca say something? Rebecca is saying it depends on if you want to use onboard credit plus your budget.
Yeah, just if your budget allows you to prepay.
Yeah, if your budget allows you to prepay the gratuity, what does the onboard credit have to do with?
Because you can't. Because if you want to use your onboard credit, you can't do that beforehand and prepay.
Ah, got you.
because you have to wait till you're on board.
Gotcha. Yeah, maybe you should explain that. No. Okay. But she's just saying it depends on the onboard credit and what your budget is. So if you want to prepay things, you can't use your onboard credit until you actually get on the ship. So that is the one thing there. So I guess the answer is maybe. You can explain it better. I wish you would just turn that on and explain it better.
You explained it just fine.
Janice is saying usually have a lot of onboard credit. So if that is the case, I do not prepay gratuity. The onboard credit takes care of it. Great answer. Thank you, Janice. That's a very, very good answer right there. Yeah, co-host. Yeah, so everybody's saying that Rebecca should be my co-host and she should have a microphone turned on. You know, when I first started this, if you go way back to the early videos, like the Wayback Machine to the early videos on this channel, Rebecca is actually talking on all of those early videos, and you will see her cooking with me in some of those early videos. I don't know what happened when we moved to Florida. When we moved to Florida, she's like, I am not talking anymore. Even though she has a beautiful microphone right in front of her with all this. Yeah, I know she hated it, but even, Mark is even appearing with Gary now on his things, and it's fantastic. Mark is awesome. Okay, fine. She's giving me the look. For those of you who are married out there, you know what look I just got. So it is a look not to be shared on family television. So, but I will get her to talk with us at some point. I will wear her down. Maybe I'll just, oh yeah, there you go. See, now it just got worse.
Nobody wants to.
Now it just got worse. All right. Hey, Jay, thanks for joining in. Good to see you. Mark, I think we're going to leave it with that. That's going to be, nobody wants to hear her sing. You don't want to hear me sing. Although I do have a full couple of songs of me singing ABBA, Dancing Queen, and I have me singing Copacabana, the entire song. So maybe I'll post them in our Facebook group. So if you want to hear me sing, come join the Facebook group. If you don't want to hear me sing, don't join the group. I wouldn't blame you, to be honest with you. But yeah, if you haven't joined already, please join. It is a private group, so I will have to let you in. If you tried to join during the broadcast, I will have to let you in after the broadcast. But I see we have been going for an hour and 12 minutes already. It's supposed to be 1 hour. I thank you so much. What do we got here? I'm going down to these. Saw that. Awesome. So yeah. So what I'll do is tomorrow I will post both entire songs in our Facebook group, and you guys asked for it. So, if you don't like what you hear, it's all your fault. But folks, I think we're going to wrap up. I'm trying to see if there's anything else on here that I want to say. There is actually one more thing that I do want to tell you, because it's something very close to my heart before we go away. Holland America is very close to me. Those of you who know me know that I love to cook. Holland America has announced 5 culinary cruises with guest chefs on board the ships. And these are the chefs that are going to be on there. I would love to go on the cruise with Jacques Torres. I would love to be there. The chefs are actually going to be on the ships for between 4 and 7 days. And they are going to be doing cooking classes, going to be doing demonstrations, and they are going to serve a meal, which will probably be very, very expensive. But you can have a meal prepared by that chef. They were going to start in September, and they run through December of this year. So I'm going to wrap it up with that. So y'all, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. That is another Wednesday night in the books. We'll see you next Wednesday right back here on YouTube. And Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m., we will be over on the TikTok channel. So join us over there. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. You all have an absolutely fabulous evening, and we will see you next Saturday. Yeah, we'll see you Saturday TikTok, and we'll see you next Wednesday right back here, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a good night, everybody. See ya.